Okay, so what everyone knows with the JZX chassis is that the front brakes are accessible. You can get them in the United States, no problem whatsoever, because the IS300 shares pretty much the same identical front suspension in general. However, the rears are a little bit more complicated. You can convert over to the IS or an LS or something with bigger brakes, Supra, TT, whatever you want to do in that aspect. But to get the drums, to get the rotors, it's a hassle, and it's just super expensive and timely. Of course, time is money, so you got to deal with that mess. So I went out on a whim. I went down the rabbit hole all over the internet between overseas, different places, different auto parts stores of what's compatible, what's not. I end up finding that it seemed like the Supra, the NA Supra, which is different calipers, different rotors than the TT Supra, actually supposedly cross-referenced to these ones. So I bought off Rock Auto, literally like $20-something a rotor. It's worth a shot in the dark to try. Just got them in now. I'm going to go ahead and take off my rear rotor and see how different it is, how close it is, if I can manipulate it just enough to make it work, or if it's just a shot in the dark that I took and came out empty. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go ahead and take that wheel off, take off the actual caliper, and then get that rotor off, and then we're going to measure, see how different they are. If I can make it work, even a spacer or something, let's do it. If not, then, I might have to pay the $500 for rotors or upgrade to Project Mu or something like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Hopefully it works out, because that will save a lot of people time and money and hassle over the years between the 90s, 100s, and whatnot. And if that's the case, that this secret has been around since the existence of us having these cars every year, then that'd be a crazy upset that hasn't come to light yet. But we'll see if I can get that going, and then we'll go from there. And here we are. I got a stock rotor. I got stock pads. I have these ones, which are the Cressida, USDM Cressida, like 88 Cressida shoes. They're the same, not like for like, but close enough to work as a stock shoe from a JZX90 100. But these will not work with the Supra rotors. They'll work with the stocks. So if I wanted to keep these worn out, grooved rotors and put them on with these, they would work. I can make that work. These will not work. I tried these with the Supra. So these are Supra shoes, NA Supra shoes. And I tried the NA Supra shoes with the NA Supra rotor. It did not work. They were too wide of a circumference to fit the rotor on. It would not go on. So after research and looking over, I found that the Turbo Supra rotors are bigger than these. They're bigger than stock, bigger than need. That's why there's adapter bracketing, and you get the different calipers and do all that. But the NA Supra rotors are identical, which is this one. They're identical to the JZX90 100 rotor, except for the circumference of the drum is bigger. So this is bigger. This is smaller, and of course that right there where I have that little rubber piece, the hole for the adjustment for your shoes, it's not in there. So I drilled a hole, and you can adjust them. So Project Mu makes these brake shoes. These brake shoes are for TT, Supra TT conversion rotors, and the two puck calipers if you want to go with the actual TT setup. And the TT Supra rotors are a bigger circumference. They are a bigger rotor. If you want that for your performance, sure. I don't care about that. I'm fine with that. I just want newer, smooth, non-grooved rotors. So I looked up the difference between the TT rotor and the NA rotor. The NA rotor is the same drum circumference, but the outer circumference is bigger. It's a bigger, different rotor, but the NA1 is the same as the 190, except for this inner drum circumference. But this inner drum circumference is the same between TT and NA. So that means these shoes will work with the NA rotor and the TT rotor. It's just a matter if that TT rotor is going to work with your calipers or not, which the NA1 will work with stock calipers. The TT1 will work with its TT calipers. So it's up to you if you want to convert over to calipers. I was trying to not spend that much money right now on this. I got other mods to support and other cars to support. So my goal is just to have fresher brakes that work. And that's what this looks like. So this is going to work now. I finally have it in line. I have it hooked up. These, by the way, if you need them, I don't know if this part number broke off, but IS 103 D1 spec. That's what these ones are. And they're made, and it says on there, only made for 90s 100s to convert to Supra 2-puck caliper setup, which is the TT. But the NA1 works with our stock stuff. So put these on, get yourself some NA Supra rotors, and then you're looking at like maybe 50 bucks in rotors off of Rock Auto. And then these shoes, they were like 100 bucks plus like 20 something dollars shipping. So, you know, roughly $175, $200 in rotors and then in your shoes. And then all you have to worry about from then on out is the caliper, if it's working properly, and the actual pads on the calipers, which I did order new pads as well just for craps, and I think those were around 50 bucks. So instead of converting to something else, a whole style, if you can go junkyard and get it cheap, that's cool, whatever. But this way I know I'm good and everything's fresh for the most part. And I know if I ever need rotors that warp or something like that, I can get them real cheap, and I can get them within a week and no problems there. And that's my main concern, was the wear item that would cause a wobble, a shake, or just hard to get, which these rotors, everybody's quoting them like over $300 for them. So convert in this simple way, or convert in a new caliper setup, new rotor setup, everything set up if you want. It's up to you. But I guess it's a little bit less. It's nothing crazy. It's not like I'm saving a fortune, but in my eyes, every little bit of savings is appreciated. So that's what I'm doing. I just have my brake set up, and I'm going to go ahead and install it. And because of these, working with TT, they're going to work now with my NA. And we should be good. And the only reason that these work is because of the friction pad, how much thicker that is compared to factory, compared to Cressida. Because the Cressidas went on. They actually went on. I put the rotor on. It wasn't, the circumference is too big. It wouldn't catch. So you put these on with damn nearly a half an inch of pad on each side. And they are about an inch difference between these two with circumference, actually. So that would fill up that gap and then make everything work properly. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on, and that will solve my problem. Okay, those went on. Just need some adjusting for how the shoes line up, centered, I guess, with the circumference of the rotor. Making sure they're not too far back, not too far forward. Went on good. Yeah, the e-brake stops it, at least by hand. I can go ahead and hit that again while the wheel's on. The other side's apart, so it's just one side. The other side, I have it completely apart down to the drum. So it has nothing to do with any stopping or anything or whatnot. Yeah, it ain't moving. So that's good. The e-brake handle feels pretty good, like enough pressure on it. I like the way it feels. Went together pretty simple. As you can see, I got some flares on there. That's just test fit. They're planning on going on at some point. I'd like to do that on the rear. The front will probably get fenders. If not, I'll buy more metal ones and weld them on. But we'll play that by ear. But I'll go ahead and do the other side. I'm not going to make you see that or watch that. That's just another boring setup. And then it'll be identical. And we'll be set. That shouldn't be a problem. So here we go. Round 2. Good sign. First bowl seems a little soft, but I, of course, haven't adjusted all the way in for now. I can't adjust them out. There's nowhere but tightening from here because they're all the way in the shoes. And let's see, we're on a hill. So on a hill, coasting, hit the brake, stopped, let it down some, about halfway down I start coasting again. Violently hit the brake, slow cushion stop. Maybe they sort of have to bite in and wear in, but I can adjust them a little bit more. But they are holding, they are stopping. My handbrake actually starts catching about right there. It has tension. And then as you go up, it just gets harder and harder. It increases, but you can pull it up all the way. I got a drift button. To stop the car, as of where it's at right now, I'm coasting a little bit. Right there. That's where it stops. Okay, so pretty high. I can adjust the handle if I want. I can adjust the shoes if I want. I don't know which one I'm going to do yet. I might take the wheels off and adjust them. Since I have the nice little holes in my new rotors, might take off the wheels and just adjust them real quick. For now, though, parking-wise, it works. That's all I'm using it for, so I'm good enough for now. Let's get on to the next project and the next one.